If a bearing is designated by the number 305, it means that the bearing is of A light series whose bore is 5 mm, B light series whose bore is 25 mm, C medium series whose bore is 5 mm, D medium series whose bore is 25 mm. The correct answer is medium series whose bore is 25 mm. Tapered roller bearings can take A radial load only, B axial load only, C both radial and axial loads and the ratio of these being less than unity, D both radial and axial loads and the ratio of these being greater than unity. The correct answer is both radial and axial loads and the ratio of these being greater than unity. In order to remove internal stresses produced by hardening the steel, the process usually adopted is A. Tempering, B. Annealing, C. Normalizing, D. Spheroidizing. The correct answer is tempering. A pressure vessel is said to be a thin shell if the ratio of wall thickness to its diameter is equal to 1/10. A. Yes, B. No, C, D. The correct answer is no. A bolt of uniform strength can be developed by A. Keeping the core diameter of threads equal to the diameter of unthreaded portion of the bolt, B. Keeping the core diameter smaller than the diameter of the unthreaded portion, C. Keeping the nominal diameter of threads equal to the diameter of unthreaded portion of the bolt, D. None of the above. The correct answer is keeping the core diameter of threads equal to the diameter of unthreaded portion of the bolt. The ratio of endurance limit in shear to the endurance limit in flexure is A. 0.25, B. 0.40, C. 0.55, D. 0.70. The correct answer is 0.55. The lower deviation is the algebraic difference between the A. minimum limit and the basic size, B. maximum limit and the basic size, C. actual size and the corresponding basic size, D. none of the above. The correct answer is minimum limit and the basic size. When plates are fastened by a rivet, the holes in the plates should be made by punching and reaming. A. correct, B. incorrect, C, D. The correct answer is incorrect. When carbon in the cast iron is principally in the form of graphite, the cast iron will be of A. gray color, B. white color, C. yellow color, D. brown color. The correct answer is gray color. A shoe brake is commonly used in railway trains. A. yes, B. no, C, D. The correct answer is yes. The rivet head used for boilerplate riveting is usually A. snap head, B. pan head, C. countersunk head, D. conical head. The correct answer is snap head. A single strap butt joint is always in shear. A. single, B. double, C, D. The correct answer is single. 18-8 steel contains A. 18 nickel and 8 chromium, B. 18 chromium and 8 nickel, C. 18 nickel and 8 vanadium, D. 18 vanadium and 8 nickel. The correct answer is 18 chromium and 8 nickel. The module in the reciprocal of diametral pitch. A. yes, B. no, C, D. The correct answer is yes. The velocity factor for carefully cut gears operating at velocities up to is equal to 4.5 V. A. 10 ms, B. 12.5 ms, C. 15 ms, D. 20 ms. The correct answer is 12.5 ms. A localized compressive stress at the area of contact between two members is known as A. Tensile stress. B. Bending stress. C. Bearing stress. D. Shear stress. The correct answer is bearing stress. The metal suitable for bearings subjected to heavy loads is A. Silicon bronze. B. White metal. C. Monel metal. D. Phosphor bronze. The correct answer is white metal. The V-belts are particularly suitable for drives. A. Short. B. Long. C. D. The correct answer is short. For hardening alloy steels and high-speed steels, they are heated to A. 500 to 600 C. B. 700 to 900 C. C. 1100 to 1300 C. D. 1300 to 1500 C. The correct answer is 1100 to 1300 C. An universal coupling is used to connect two shafts. A. Which are perfectly aligned. B. Which are not in exact alignment. C. Have lateral misalignment. D. Whose axes intersect at a small angle. The correct answer is whose axes intersect at a small angle. Euler's formula for a mild steel column is not valid if the slenderness ratio is A. 60. B. 90. C. 100. D. 120. The correct answer is 60. The standard length of the shaft is A. 5 m. B. 6 m. C. 7 m. D. All of these. The correct answer is all of these. According to I.B.R, when the thickness of boiler shell T is greater than 8 mm, then the diameter of rivet hole D is obtained by A. Equating tearing resistance of the plate to the shearing resistance of the rivets. B. Equating tearing resistance of the plate to the crushing resistance of the rivets. C. Equating shearing resistance to the crushing resistance of the rivets. D. None of the above. The correct answer is none of the above. When the shaft rotates in anticlockwise direction at slow speed in a bearing, it will A. Have contact at the bottom most of the bearing. B. Move towards right of the bearing, making the metal-to-metal contact. C. Move towards right of the bearing, making no metal-to-metal contact. D. Move towards left of the bearing, making metal-to-metal contact. The correct answer is move towards left of the bearing, making metal-to-metal contact. A taper key which fits half in the keyway of the hub and half in the keyway of shaft is known as A. Sunk key. B. Flat saddle key. C. Hollow saddle key. D. Tangent key. The correct answer is sunk key. When bevel gears having equal teeth and equal pitch angles connect two shafts whose axes intersect at right angle, then they are known as A. Angular bevel gears. B. Crown bevel gears. C. Internal bevel gears. D. Mitre gears. The correct answer is mitre gears. A sliding bearing which can support steady loads without any relative motion between the journal and the bearing is called A. Zero film bearing. B. Boundary lubricated bearing. C. Hydrodynamic lubricated bearing. D. Hydrostatic lubricated bearing. The correct answer is hydrostatic lubricated bearing. In case of pressure vessels having closed ends, the fluid pressure induces A. Longitudinal stress. B. Circumferential stress. C. Shear stress. D. None of these. The correct answer is none of these. A machine part subjected to is called a strut. A. An axial tensile force. B. An axial compressive force. C. A tangential force. D. Any one of these. The correct answer is an axial compressive force. The yield point in static loading is as compared to fatigue loading. A. Higher. B. Lower. C. Same. D. The correct answer is higher. When two helical springs of equal lengths are arranged to form a cluster spring, then A. Shear stress in each spring will be equal. B. Load taken by each spring will be half the total load. C. All of the above. D. None of these. The correct answer is all of the above. For a shaft diameter of 200 mm, the number of bolts in a marine flange coupling should be A. 4, B. 6, C. 8, D. 10. The correct answer is 8. The stress in the threaded part of the bolt will be as compared to the shank. A. Same, B. Higher, C. Lower, D. The correct answer is higher. A shaft is a rotating machine element. A. Correct, B. Incorrect, C. D. The correct answer is correct. The addendum circle diameter is equal to wear pressure angle. A. Pitch circle diameter x cos. B. Addendum circle diameter x cos. C. Clearance circle diameter x cos. D. Pitch circle diameter x sin. The correct answer is pitch circle diameter x cos. Which one of the following is a positive drive? A. Crossed flat belt drive. B. Rope drive. C. V-belt drive. D. Chain drive. The correct answer is chain drive. The period during which the cam follower remains at rest when cam moves is known as A. Constant period. B. Fixed period. C. Dwell period. D. Idle period. The correct answer is dwell period. The flank of the tooth is the A. Surface of the top of the tooth. B. Surface of the tooth above the pitch surface. C. Surface of the tooth below the pitch surface. D. Width of the tooth measured along the pitch circle. The correct answer is surface of the tooth below the pitch surface. The included angle for the British Association thread is A. 29, B. 47.3, C. 55, D. 60. The correct answer is 47.3. The contact ratio is the ratio of A. Length of path of contact to the circular pitch. B. Length of arc of contact to the circular pitch. C. Length of arc of approach to the circular pitch. D. Length of arc of resist to the circular pitch. The correct answer is length of arc of contact to the circular pitch. The cracks in helical springs used in railway carriages usually start on the inner side of the coil because of the fact that A. It is subjected to a higher stress than the outer side. B. It is subjected to a higher cyclic loading than the outer side. C. It is more stretched than the outer side during the manufacturing process. D. It has a lower curvature than the outer side. The correct answer is it is subjected to a higher cyclic loading than the outer side. In a marine flange coupling, the thickness of flange is taken as A. D4, B. D3, C. D2, D3 D4. The correct answer is D3. The wire ropes make contact at A. Bottom of groove of the pulley. B. Sides of groove of the pulley. C. Sides and bottom of groove of the pulley. D. Anywhere in the groove of the pulley. The correct answer is bottom of groove of the pulley. A metal pipe of 1 m diameter contains a fluid having a pressure of 1 nmm2. If the permissible tensile stress in the metal is 20 nmm2, then the thickness of the metal required for making the pipe will be A. 5 mm, B. 10 mm, C. 15 mm, D. 25 mm. The correct answer is 25 mm. A tangent key is provided in pairs at right angles, and each key is to withstand torsion in one direction only. A. Agree. B. Disagree. C. D. The correct answer is agree. When the speed of belt increases, the coefficient of friction between the belt and pulley increases. B. The coefficient of friction between the belt and pulley decreases. C. The power transmitted will decrease. D. The power transmitted will increase. The correct answer is the power transmitted will decrease. According to law of Gehring, the common normal at the point of contact between a pair of teeth must always pass through the pitch point. A. Correct. B. Incorrect. C. D. The correct answer is correct. An involute pinion and gear are in mesh. If both have the same size of addendum, then there will be interference between the A. Tip of the gear and flank of pinion. B. Tip of the pinion and flank of gear. C. Flanks of both gear and pinion. D. Tip of both gear and pinion. The correct answer is tip of the gear and flank of pinion.